And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man went to Mo. Apologies. This session was scheduled to start for around 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now. Reasons unavoidable. I was going to abandon the session entirely, but then I thought better late than never. So, apology for the late start to the promised session to the time advertised. But sometimes, life gets in the way of what you have planned. But gather, come join me nevertheless. Never, better rather late than never, they say. But you probably say best not late and not never, which is more the thing. But nevertheless, the session has started. Whoever is around can come and join. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Only water, water, only water, where they see ma. Water, 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 water. Only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby Master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chifu Faila àti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku kò ní rí wa gbéṣe, ìgbàlà tí ele hehehe. Iku kò ní rí wa gbéṣe. As guys, I bring you this. I'm not quite sure. There should be more people here, but nevertheless, we carry on. So, Iku kò ní rí wa gbéṣe. As guys, I bring you this. The TB Joshua's disciples evicted from SCOAN over leadership tussle. So the fight for that TB Joshua continues unabated. So the fight for the TB Joshua space, a story that is set to run and run. So we go through that. The Sultan of Sokoto speaks. How do we survive if Nigeria breaks up? Sultan of Sokoto kicks against IPOB Yoruba separatist agendas. So when I song, shut your mouth and be quiet. The lead, Aboki, speaks to the Southerners, his subjects and property and servants. 2023, ATIKU's campaign souvenir surfaces at PDP and EC. So the campaign now in full blow now. So there's really now no time to dilly-dally anymore. Anybody that has a serious thrust towards the presidency should be already campaigning already. So we go through that too. So a lot of these things to go through. All that is needed now, all that is required is your presence. So gather, come and join. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ lẹ́mùrẹ́ o. Chifu Fáìlàtì kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ lẹ́mùrẹ́ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ó jàre o.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dù. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o.
Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ.
Wọ́tà 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 wọ́tà.
Wọ́tà oní wọ́tà wẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa.
Apá o náà ìdó.
Apá o náà ìlú.
Apá you don come o. Apá o náà ìdó. Oró kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùyé o. Ilé sódìyà kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrẹ́ o. Bọ́bí Màsítà kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrẹ́ o. Chifu Fáìlàtì kẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrẹ́ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ó jàre o.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dù. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o.
Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ.
Petrosodame ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o.
Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ.
Petrosodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o.
Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ.
Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o.
Ìgbàlà tí
Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o. Àrùnkárùn kò ní.
Omeriwo n'Izu Oniroya Abakare Mama Dawora Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi bu onyedu aimo. Omeriwo n'Izu Oniroya Abakare Mama Dawora Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi.
And there you are. Python dance once, Python dance twice, Nandi win a war. Apologies. The thumbnail, the notice that I put out for the session, that had expired, so there's a new notice now. I wonder if some people are still waiting by the old notice, because I was expecting much more of a gathering than what we have at the moment. But to the people who are here, thank you for being with me. We start the session nevertheless, and we just progress it and carry it on. So Python dance once, Python dance twice, another Python dance. Nandi to win a war. As guys, I bring you this. TB Joshua's disciples evicted from SCOAN over leadership tussle. So we all knew for the battle for the dollars of TB Joshua, was going to get messy and ugly, and the first punch has been thrown. The first fist has been thrown now in what is going to be an ugly and unseemly space for quite a long while. So the TB Joshua space, as again, TB Joshua's disciples evicted from SCOAN over leadership tussle. So the battle for the billion-dollar empire left behind by TB Joshua. Some local disciples of Prophet Temitope Balogun Joshua, aka TB Joshua, have been evicted from the Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN. A source very close to the family revealed that late TB Joshua's wife Evelyn evicted the local disciples of the deceased prophet from the church premises. Speaking to correspondents, the source said the eviction was part of Evelyn Joshua's move to assume leadership of SCOAN. Those who disrespected her in the past were asked to vacate their church. These disciples asked to leave were those who disrespected Evelyn whilst her husband was still alive. They sidelined her. It was a power tussle, the source said. Correspondents also got some video of the disciples vacating the church premises. TB Joshua, who was endeared to a lot of people by his healing ministry, died on June the 5th, 2021, after a church service. A few weeks after his death, the popular prophet was buried within the church premises in Lagos. So there you are, power move and power tussles. This is what is going on within the TB Joshua space. So power move and power tussle. So let's just get a little bit of a feel of what actually transpired at that SCOAN space as they move now for that TB Joshua space now, as I said, about to get ugly and unseemly. See as the mock as these people were forced out of the premises. Watch this. So there you are. Bye-bye in mocking tones in the Church of the Lord. So bye-bye in mocking tones in the Church of the Lord. But tones of disparage and contempt from the north to the south. How do we survive if Nigeria breaks up? Sultan of Sokoto slamming down and slapping down IPOB and Yoruba Nation separatists. The Sultan of Sokoto speaks, the number one Fulani man on the planet. How do we survive if Nigeria breaks up? A headline attributed to the Sultan of Sokoto. The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saud Abubakar III, has urged Nigerians to drop their various separatist agendas. Speaking at the 2020 Leadership Newspaper Award and Conference in Abuja on Thursday, the spiritual leader of Muslims in Nigeria noted that God did not make a mistake putting all the various groups in Nigeria together. He urged Nigerians to work together to fight insecurity in various forms, which has been confronting the country. He said, if we are to go our 1 million ways, how do we survive? God Almighty will and can never make a mistake. That is His will and must be obeyed. Bringing us together as Nigerians is not a mistake, and that is what God wanted. If He wants anything else, He will do it in no time. So we have to accept our religious beliefs as good Christians and Muslims. We all know we are from one source and creator. We have to live together as one people to face these challenges of insecurity. No one can do it alone as the commander-in-chief or chief of defense staff. We must rise up to take the issue of insecurity as our own personal problem. We must all contribute to this challenge of insecurity, and if we do that, in a couple of years, we will be driving our ears close from Kaduna to Abuja with no potholes, from Kaduna to Sokoto with clear roads, and Maiduguri to Kano. That is our prayer in the next few weeks, months, years, as we will get to that level. So let me just pause there for a moment because there's already just too many things loaded in just this opening phase of this guy's speech. So he's telling us then that bringing us together as Nigerians was not a mistake, and that is what God wants. So that is a coded a statement right there, and that is a layered statement. So you unpeel it to your own understanding, and is meant to be unpeeled to your own understanding. There's a historical antecedent to just that statement. Bringing us together as Nigerians is not a mistake, and the part that is key, and that is what God wanted. So, and that is what God wanted. So we have heard this language, what God wanted from the Fulanis before, and what God wants, according to the Fulani, is to give the Nigerian nation to the Fulanis. So this essentially is my reading of what this guy is saying there, because of course he is speaking to a multitude of demography, but the pointing of that message is pointed in the demography that is his own, his people. Bringing us together as Nigerians is not a mistake, and that is what God wanted. And of course, the Fulani man understands what God wants for him, which is for him to own Nigeria in its totality. They have told us this severally, and if you are not clear, he doubles down on the just third. Actually, let me go through it again. It says, if he wants anything else, he will do it in no time. So we have to accept our religious beliefs as good Christians and Muslims. So it's saying that the Danfodio agenda is still very much in play, and is telling his people to hold firm. That is my understanding of what is being said there. We all know we are from one source and creator. So now, this is the paragraph that made me pause. So we go through this paragraph now. We have to live together as one people to face these challenges of insecurity. So that's fine. No one can do it alone as the commander-in-chief or the chief of defense. So that's fine too. We must rise up to take the issue of insecurity as our own personal problem. That is also fine. We must all contribute to this challenge of insecurity. And if we do that, now this is where it starts to veer into the direction that made me pause and into the direction of that opening phase of this is what God wants. So listen to this. We must all contribute to this challenge of insecurity, and if we do that, in a couple of years, we will be driving with our eyes closed from Kaduna to Abuja, okay, with no potholes, from Kaduna to Sokoto with clear roads, and Maiduguri to Kano. That is our prayer in the next few weeks, months, and years as that we get to that level. So he wants to be driving from Kaduna to Abuja, from Kaduna to Kano, and from Maiduguri, from Kaduna to Sokoto, and from Maiduguri to Kano. So already you can see in his own description there what he wants. And by the way, this guy is not just meant to be the lead of the Fulanis, is meant to be the lead of the Muslims in Nigeria because he calls when the moon comes out for their fasting, etc. So his position, yes, as a Fulani man, but his actual position as the lead Muslim in Nigeria, it transcends his ethnicity. But his tonality, of course, often in instances, if not always, to his ethnicity. So he wants to drive from Kaduna to Abuja, he wants to drive from Kaduna to Sokoto, and he wants to be able to drive from Maiduguri to Kano. So that is what he wants, and that is fine. And I pray that God lets him get it. But I want to be able to drive from Ibadan to Ekiti with my eyes closed as well, as he wants to drive in his own country, in his own region, amongst his own people. I want to be able to drive from Ekiti to Lagos at 3 a.m. in the morning and get to Lagos before 4:30, smooth roads, no interruptions. So this is what I want too. So you can have what you want and I what I want. So the Malam speaks, and I think only a fool would not be able to unpick what is being said there. Even a fool would not be able even a fool will be able to have a clear understanding of what is being said in the PDP. ATIKU campaign souvenirs surface at PDP NEC. Despite the lingering leadership crisis rocking the major opposition People's Democratic Party PDP campaign souvenirs belonging to the party's presidential candidates in 2019 surfaced during its National Executive Committee meeting at the party's national headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. The souvenir, numbering about 1,000, were brought into the meeting venue by some men under the aegis of Article Support Organization ASO. The authority observed that the women were distributing the souvenir containing printed documents on Atiku to some strategic party stakeholders, members of the board of trustee, and some party influencers. Speaking to correspondents, one of the members of the support group, Hajiya Maida Yusuf, said that it is only Atiku that can win the next presidential election for the PDP. Waziri Adamawa is the person that can retrieve the presidential villa from APC. He has political structures across the country. He is Wazobia. He has the experience as former vice president and he has the resources, she said. When reminded that Atiku lost the last election to President Buhari despite possessing all these qualities, she responded, Atiku won that election, but it was rigged out. This time around, we shall not allow a repeat of that ugly experience. Atiku shall win convincingly. Atiku shall win convincingly that it will be impossible to alter the result. He is a man of the people and will remain so. Nigerians are looking onto the PDP and ATIKU to take the country away from its present problems of insecurity, incessant strikes by medical personnel, bad economy, and general hardship, she said. Meanwhile, a group known as PDP Action Group had last week asked the former vice president to perish the thought of contesting the presidential primary of the PDP. The group in a statement said that allowing Atiku to fly the flag of the party is a waste. The statement signed by its chairman, Honorable Rufus Omere, stated that it will be a disaster for the party if the former vice president deceives PDP for the second time. The group frowned at Atiku for abandoning PDP and relocating to Dubai after the elections, whilst the party was submerged in crisis, adding that he shielded himself from PDP members only for him to resurface as the elections were getting ready. The Waziri Adamawa had, during a PDP BOT meeting in Abuja, disclosed his long stay in Abuja was to acquire a master's degree from Cambridge University. Not satisfied with this explanation, the group continued. On the contrary, the entire country is aware that he relocated to Dubai, where he even had his highly advertised COVID vaccination, even before the vaccine was available to ordinary Nigerians. It is disingenuous for Atiku to claim that he was in school in Cambridge when he was actually living in Dubai. I think we may well have gone through this particular storyline. So, but let me just give you the fullness of it anyway. If he enrolled in the University of Cambridge for a part-time course, he could as well have done the program from Nigeria. He should come clean with the truth, apologize to PDP faithful for letting them down and step aside. He will be better playing a role as an elder statesman, as we earlier suggested. What is more, he is on record to have boasted during the 2018 presidential primaries that he was the only candidate with the financial muscle and otherwise to face President Buhari and defeat him. Alas, he wasted the PDP ticket. He mismanaged and dashed the trust, hopes, and votes of PDP members and Nigerians. He lost in all the Northwest states, lost in 4 of the 6 Northeast states where he hails from, lost in virtually all the Southwest and North Central states, and managed to eke out a small victory in the Southeast and South-South states. In fact, he won in his home state Adamawa with only 32,000 votes. So Atiku continues to generate controversy within the PDP space. So Vin, we see you. Vin, you seem to be the only one with us today. So we just run through with you quickly and then we round off. So Vin, are you there? Sorry. Yeah. So Vin, are you there?
Yes, please. I'm here.
Good to have you, Vin. So I'm not sure if you're at all in that TB Joshua space, but the ugliness of that fight for money is resurfaces in the Church of the Lord. The madam that was the wife of the character, she is now showing her muscles as it now starts to clear the deck to take full possession of this billion-dollar industry that the husband created. That guy's drawn in the Church of the Lord, Vin.
Yeah, I am not surprised. Hearing what is happening in the Synagogue Church of All Nations after the demise of the leader, late Prophet TB Joshua. I see what is happening now as a sort of witch hunt. It's based on the story you read there, based on what I heard that you read out, I found out that those people that have been dismissed from the church right now are those people that were at daggers drawn with the lady when the man was alive.
So yeah, but that's not the normal course of life, though. If you if you get the power, you savage your enemies. We saw Buhari do that just as soon as he took the reins of
If
Nigeria. Like, he just started beheading everybody.
if they really, call the place house of the Lord, I don't think that there will be any witch hunt or anybody that you did not like. Maybe, nature has brought you, made it possible for you to come and head that particular organization. Then you begin to, trace those people that were you are not in, in good terms with, to chase them out of the church. It is appalling. It is disgraceful. And a shame, a big shame that this is coming, happening in a church of the Lord, so-called church of the Lord.
Vin, do you expect that church to start to fall apart fairly soon? And I'm asking because, of course, it's a miracle-based church, and that is what's built it. The miracles that were being performed in that church, or the so-called miracle that they are performing in that church. So the guy that had the voodoo for the miracle was TB Joshua. He was the voodoo guy, but now he is gone. So the power for their so-called miracle is now gone. So if they are not able to pronounce and announce miracles, then people will very quickly start to leave for the next magic man that comes up with all this miracle narrative. So are you expecting now, with the demise of this guy TB Joshua, the voodoo link is now broken and that church to start to fall apart?
If not for this, power tussle in the church right now, as we speak, I would have thought that it will take a lot of time, for that, church to disintegrate. As long as, because when you look at the disciples, the wise men, as they called them in that church there, TB Joshua was also training them to become like him in terms of the processes, and that the healing, the miracles, and all whatnot that was going on there. He was training them. He trained so many of them to do the same thing he was doing, even when he wasn't around.
So they have a lot of voodoo men in the church.
Of course, they were performing just like the way he was performing within that period. Now that he is dead and the power tussle has come to play, witch hunt has come to play, I don't see that church, progressing. I see some sort of, decline in the process.
The irony will be lost on the adherents, the disciples, the fanatics, the gullibles? Do you think the irony will be lost on them, that this man that puts hands on them, curing cancer and resurrecting the dead, he just passed away from a minor ailment? This man that claims that is curing everybody just passed away at a relatively young age from a minor ailment. Would the irony be lost on the gullibles?
You see, what I'm trying to see here, what I envisage in this issue is this: no matter how you speak to those gullibles, the highly devoted, followers of all these pastors, you've seen it happening everywhere. If you pick up a pastor and a pastor, maybe the pastor misbehaved, like so many of them are misbehaving. I don't want to name names here. Look at the social media, comment, post something, that doesn't sit well, or you become a critic of their action, and see what these gullible followers, the devoted, the hypnotized, and the grossly brainwashed their followers will do to you on the social media. So this is what is going to happen. I don't see the hypnotized followers etc to back out now. Rather, they will begin to defend the man that will the highest power as we speak right now. That is what they're going. And remember, if there were bad, things that were secret things that were going on, this is the time. And let's just have, let's say, maybe like 1 or 2 months ahead of us. You will see so many things coming out of this way from these people that are being sacked from that place. I assure you.
Yes. There was one lady that made a lot of hue and cry about this guy, where he gets his power from, the the sexual dealiances and picadillos and all sorts of mannerisms that goes on. And this lady was the bag woman for the money. So she was a real insider. Hell had no fury like a woman scorned. I think she fell out of favor and did an expose. Some of the things that she was saying about that church and man will be the marvel of the greatest babalawos in Yoruba land. Just all manners of dark and mysterious stuff going on in that space.
Yes, you see, for me, not even before the demise of TB Joshua, there was another Cameroonian, a young man that came. I don't know what you watch that guy speak. How he was arrested, how they used the power play, you know, influence the police to arrest him and detain him, question him, all kinds of things, you know, beat him up and so on and so forth. See, these are some of the things that are going to, you know, be happening. You see, the social media will be engulfed with so many stories as time goes on from these people that have been, you know, that are led off as we now. So that is what I'm looking at, my brother.
Have you also noticed how some of these so-called men of God, the big-name churches out there already circling round the SCOAN looking to pick off the carcass? I'm talking about Chris Okotie. I'm even talking as far as the Redeemed guy. Everybody in between, all making disparaging comments. The things they couldn't say when this guy was alive, they are saying it. Chris Okotie actually did a near 2-hour video that he put out just lambasting and casting aspersions on this guy. Everybody circling around that billion-dollar empire looking to see what they can slice off it before it settles down. So knives drawn in the church of the Lord.
Those people like that just, I call them, you know, distractors. They just want to.
They are scavengers, aren't they?
Yeah, scavengers. They are not making it. For me, they were, most of the things they were saying there doesn't make any sense. Doesn't resonate.
Did you see
with
some
me.
of it?
Yes, I saw so many of them making such irresponsible comments. You know, some were against, some were, for the late, quote unquote man of God. You see, for me, I don't think that, they have nothing to gain in there. What I am looking at now is the lady who is wielding that, that sledgehammer to hit anybody that she feels that is going to be an obstacle for her to run the affairs.
Do you think she has to do that to assert
that church?
Do you think she has to do that to quickly assert her authority, to strike fear into them, so that she quickly then seizes that seat, that she will brook no dissent? So do you think this is what she has to do to make power moves early, just to tell them who the boss is?
Yeah, she is trying to exert her own superiority as we speak on the subjects that are there, those people that are there. Because without doing that, and she feels that the best way she can do that is to begin to prune those people that were that were against her when the husband was alive. These are some of the things. This is some kind of instilling fear on those people that are going to remain, that will choose to remain in that church. That is what I see.
Okay, so cross me and you pay the price.
Exactly.
So cross me and you pay the price. We go to PDP. Souvenirs of ATIKU 2023 continues. Rinse and repeat. Play it against Sam. Deja vu all over again. ATIKU. Money politics. He moves assertively and early. So ATIKU now is just now clear that is going for it. What are you making of it? ATIKU souvenirs at the National Executive Committee of the PDP.
The same liars, the same the same savage, the same savage. These people are just savages. They want to, take up the remaining thing that is left from that country, the already disintegrating country. You see, if actually the Nigerian people or vote counts, I don't believe that such characters will even be rounding themselves in the corridors of power or dreaming to become a president of that nation, because they are the people that also contributed to the horrors that Nigerians are going through in that country today as we speak. He was a comptroller general of custom those days. Do you know how much this man embezzled? These are the people that will be campaigning for one Nigeria, because as long as there is one Nigeria, there are so much to eat from the table. You understand? So these are the people. Still, they are not tired of fleecing the country little wealth that is already left there. So these people are saying, for me, I don't want to see these people. I don't want to see them. There was a time we discussed about age, age limit, age requirement for who becomes the president. That is what I would have loved to go for if I still believe in one Nigeria. For me, I don't believe in one Nigeria.
Yes,
I don't even believe in the existence of that Nigeria. I hope that there will be no Nigeria before that election.
Hold on. There's going to be a Nigeria, so let's not even forget all that one. But
that is. I'm just. It's my opinion that I said I wish.
No, you can wish. But to that space of that age limit thing, this is something that I've always been keen on, that there should be an age limit as a minimum bar. So what I had in mind was that, and this is something, it cannot be a gentleman's agreement, it has to be a constitutional position, that the president of the country should not, from the first tenure, should not be older than 60. So then if he gets 2 terms, then he finishes at 68. Just
68 or 69.
Yes, or 69. So but the minimum entry age for at least at the time the campaign kicks off should not be older than 60. If that is instituted in law, and they say that this law subsists for 30-40 years, that would just help us clear the deck of all the remnants of these elements that needs to be cleared for
unwarranted elements.
Tinubu telling us that it's 24 when his daughter is 83, this kind of business. So all of that needs to go. So let me take you finally to the north, Vin, and to the Sultan of Sokoto, telling Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho to shut up and sit down there. How do we survive if Nigeria breaks up? Sultan of Sokoto kicks against IPOB Yoruba Nation separatist agendas, and what he would like to do is to be able to drive from Kaduna to Abuja, from Kaduna to Sokoto, and Maiduguri to Kano. So he can do that in a Fulani country, of course. So again, the thing that is kicking against is embedded as his own wish in his own comments, because what he's speaking to for what he wants is essentially a Fulani nation. So what are you making of this now? Rather convoluted things being spoken by the lead Fulani.
You see, whatever that comes out of that man, it must be taken, into consideration. It must be seen as, something that is coming from the supreme religious leader, and an emir for that matter. It is authentic. I would like to ask him, if I will say him, being together, telling Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu to, pipe down, lower their guards, and, embrace one Nigeria will be a panacea for him to travel from Kaduna by road to Katsina. What stops him from plying that road now? Is this Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu that is blocking the roads over there, committing all those atrocities that is, happening in the northwest and the northeast, spreading down to the southwest, to the old southern Nigeria? They have failed For me, I don't just like this begging, unity beggars. I don't believe in, this unity begging,
I don't think he's
idiots.
begging for anything. No, I think he's saying to his people that continue to pelt at them, we're just
You
about
know,
to beat them
you know
down.
what he's doing is that he is making this statement, for people to believe that, oh, he has the consent of the South, in their,
No,
that
no,
is
he did not.
peculiar.
No, no, no. That's not my understanding. Because
Mm.
if you read his wish list, there's no wish to the
I'm going
south
there.
there.
I am going
Yeah.
there. It's the Kia. It's the
Mm,
Kia to tap you at the back and tell you, look at what Buhari said in Southeast when he went there. It just the same thing. Oh,
mm,
Igbos are the leaders, the pillars of the economy of Nigeria, and so on and so forth. I will do this, I will do that. Why is he not doing it now? So what stopped this man from traveling from Sokoto to Beirut to Abuja? What stops him from doing that? Because he cannot do it because their foot soldiers has taken over those that they have equipped, to cause mayhem, intimidate, and inflict maximum, terror into submission are doing the job. So they can also, that is why he's not doing it. So for me, for him to tell our people, the cause, the emergence of the likes of Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho is because of what they are doing. That is their ulterior, the motive of the average Fulani man in Nigeria is to conquer, take over your land. And while they are doing all these things, they kept quiet. Though now it has, spread down to South, they are doing what they are doing there, and South is trying to contend them. They are not coming with all these statements. For me, it is nonsensical to me, and it should be thrown into the garbage. And for those people that are, my problem are those people that are helping them to actualize all this their deceit and tekia in the old southern Nigeria. That is my fear. Apart from that, these people, the South can contend them. They can go to hell to where he can drive from Sokoto to Geshua. I don't care. But for me, let me drive from, let me play. They say monkey plays by sizes. Let me play with the sizes of, the Odudua. I can drive from Akwa Ibom to Lagos without, closing my eye, without, anybody thinking inside my mind that, oh, somebody is going to wallet me on the road. That is what I pray for. I don't pray to travel. I don't pray to travel
it's a heavily loaded comment from the.
I don't pray to travel from Akwa Ibom all the way to Kaduna, Abuja, Kanu, to going there to go and meet his. Even if we are together, will I be free in the north as a Christian who dwells on selling alcohol beverages? Will I be free in those places? These are some of the things that we cannot. Water and oil can never mix.
Okay. Vin, when we start to say that Ghana is just some rural backwater place, you argue all the time. Here you are in Accra. Here you are in Accra, and all we can hear is kukuruku. Yeah, is this what you are in the capital city, and what we're hearing is cockroaches? Are you in some village where we're hearing cockroaches in the background?
No, you see,
Kukuruku.
here, all over here, when you get to the capital city, we have, we are conservative people. We are conservative.
Is this the Fulani lifestyle? You have chicken ruling you as we have cows ruling us in Nigeria. Eh?
No, in my house, I have
Eh?
a mini. In my house, I have a mini poultry farm.
All right. Okay.
Yes, that I keep anytime I feel joy going to feed them, give them feed and so on and so forth. So, and I have, things like raccoon. I think you know raccoon, right?
Yes, but that's a rodent, isn't it?
No, it is. It's a kind of that raccoon is just like bush cat.
Yeah, but is it meat?
No,
Is it eaten? Is it eaten?
No, some people eat it, but I don't eat it. They are just like pets to me. I feed them.
Okay,
I
you keep it
them
as just okay.
Yes, I feel joy. I feel joy when they follow me around. When I, but there is that.
That's the dream life of that's the dream life of a lot of Africans.
Exactly.
Just to have a small little something at the back of your house where you
Yeah.
have your vegetables, your small
Hmm.
livestock,
Exactly.
yeah. So
You
everybody
see,
wants
one
that.
thing I will tell you, one thing I will tell you, I think if Nigeria, if the present administration will, borrow from, Nana Akufo-Addo, what he's doing in Ghana here, I don't think Nigerians will have issues with all this banditry, kidnapping, and the Boko Haram, ISWAP, and so on and so forth. Because
Well,
this man is dealing.
Nana, call whatever it is. He's Oxford, Cambridge, British
Yeah,
spoken.
yeah.
Buhari is a bookie from the streets of Daura,
You see,
Jamjawi trade. So it's not
it
the same
doesn't matter.
thing.
You see, for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you look at
No,
this,
it
the
does
First
matter.
Republic.
Buhari is some fundamental. He was
What
trained essentially in
look
fundamentalism. Your
in that
president is
is it
British
is
trained.
religious.
That's the difference.
The problem is religion and that ethnic,
No, the problem
bigotry.
is not religion, really, it's orientation. Because everybody has a religion, but you can be a fundamentalist. He instinctually is a fundamentalist. That is what
Okay,
Buhari is. And then that religion then just gives him where to vest his extremism. Yeah.
to corner wide crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
I agree with you. So
all right. Thank you, Vin. Stay with us. Let's go to engineer next. Engineer, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon.
Oh, all right. Good afternoon, engineer.
good
Daggers
afternoon,
drawn in the
engineer.
house of the Lord as the battle for the billion-dollar TB Joshua empire starts now to get ugly and messy. So eviction notices I thought they were gathering people to the church, not evicting people from the church. But then when money is in play, TB Joshua, engineer.
Yeah. Well, it's quite shocking and it's quite embarrassing to the world.
Very, very, my brother.
And what I found that a man of God is gone, and if people respect what they call a church, I believe they would have got his replacement. But for not even happen, someone to cover that position is a bit kind of weird, and kicking out people from church again.
I mean, have you ever heard such a thing?
This
Evicted from
is
the church.
this is the most ridiculous and foolishness of highest order.
I
Because
tell you.
you know why on earth some people don't know the definition of church. They don't know the definition of Christianity. You understand? But if you look at it, I don't blame them because the Bible still said it. Revolution said it. Book of Revelation. Time for everything.
Mm.
You understand? Churches will go against churches. This is what is happening. I can't see reason why you call a church and the pastor, he's well known in the world. He passed away not too long ago. And
One man, please. I will join you. I will join you later, please. You just give me 10 minutes. I will join you. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Vin. Thank you. Yeah.
And the next thing is kicking people out. What does that tell you? You see, things like this, you look at it from every angle, from every corner. You like, what is going on, by the way? Is this really a church of God? So people should stop deceiving themselves. That's the gospel truth. People should stop deceiving themselves. And it's wrong. It's wrong for anybody to even make that decision in that church. I don't know if the board members in the church or we don't know. I don't know, to be honest, one man. I don't know. Is it the
I think
pastor?
it's just a power play, isn't it? Like I said, I said in jest, but really in truth, it's a billion-dollar organization. If you look at the spread, how this thing is worldwide, these synagogue of nations, from the Philippines all the way to the Americas and everywhere in between, all over Asia, all over Europe. So this is a $1 billion or more organization. So they are parking religion to one side and fighting for that money space. Once whoever secures and solidifies their position, then they'll go back to preaching. But we are talking about money here. Forget, forget church. It's money. Yeah, yeah. You know,
This is completely ridiculous
you
because
know.
woman. But my question here is, if that church is too good and too powerful and is worldwide known, this
Mm.
man passed away. Straight away, they would have got someone to cover that space. You understand?
But that is precisely why they will struggle to find a man, engineer, because
Oh,
let's say it's a 5 billion. Let's just estimate the worth of that church as a $5 billion dollar enterprise, and there's no clear succession plan. So the man dies suddenly without a clear path on who should be the leader. Everybody is going to fight for that seat to control that $5 billion enterprise. So they are not. Nobody is going to agree that XYZ should be the person because it's the money that is where the fight is. The
yeah.
money.
So that
Yeah.
means technically is they're not going there to worship God, rather they're
No,
going
well,
there
what
for
are you
business
talking
center.
about? Nobody. They are not. Which church are they going to worship? Church in
You
Nigeria?
understand? Because at
It's
the
all
end of the
tithes
day,
and offering, isn't it?
where I find it, like I said, where I find it very, very weird and very, very funny. I believe in the church they used to in any organization they have even in Nigerian constitution we have president and we have vice president. In any organization you have the president and you have the vice. So are they saying in that church they don't have assistant pastor?
Hmm.
So that's something that is a
Hmm.
bit kind of worrying and is disturbing, to be honest,
Hmm.
because in a church like
It's
this,
a little bit like what we're seeing in the PDP when they are stepping down secondos, and suddenly all the deputies from all of the regions are quickly running to the headquarters in Abuja to see who can get to that seat first and call a press conference because of the sort of money and power for that. So it's a scramble for money and power. This is it.
wow, that's shocking. Then that's shocking. I mean, if up to date they can't come out and say, okay, this is someone that is replacing him. Then now instead of that, you see people they're kicking people out of the church.
Hmm.
This is disgusting. This is the highest
Hmm.
nonsense that you can ever
I think they've
encounter.
actually picked the wife now to be the person. She looks like the person that is going to seize charge of the church now, or take charge of the church. I should put it in those terms. Evelyn Joshua. So she is now brought out the knives to behead a few people just to strike fear in their heads. So it is the beheading that. So this is the beheading now that is taking place. So you see her now. She's getting rid of people, just kicking them out of the church. You see, so these were people that were opposed to her all the way through. So she's kept a register and she's having them sent to the gate. So see them to the gate. So these are people being sent to the gate in the church.
No way. No way. This is hey.
It's a thing, isn't it? Eh?
Oh,
It's more interesting than Buhari versus Atiku. Eh?
this is the worst thing. This is the worst thing in Christianity. I must be honest to you,
Mm,
because if you call yourself a Christian and you practice that religion called Christianity, things like this you're not supposed to apply to people who they have been there when the pastor was there. Just because pastor is gone, even though there's little issue or little argument or little misunderstanding in
mm.
that in Church of God, according to
Is the faith
you
not
know
meant to be about love and forgiveness? So this
exactly.
this
So
is
why didn't you, even though they said something or they stole money, why
mm,
didn't you call them, sit them down and cancel them rather
mm.
than sending them off the church premises? So if these people, some they depend on someone paying their wages or paying their school fees, or paying helping them in one way or the other. You know, some of them they're working in that church and they help their family, they feed their family, they contribute to their family. And you now sending them packing out of that church. What does that signify to the world?
Well,
Hmm?
if they slap you in one ear, turn the other. The good book says. So this
Uh,
is turn the other cheek,
I don't
TB
think
Joshua style.
no human being on earth will agree to that. That if they slap you in one ear, you one
Eh?
face, you turn it. There is no way, no way.
You will headbutt them in the nose if they slap
Straight
you.
away, unless it's
Eh?
Boko Haram, they put a gun on your head and they slap you and you give it them the other side. You know,
Oh,
but when you come on, man, this is embarrassment to Christianity. I must be honest to you.
well, more so to that church really, because we have to make that separation. But because
Yeah,
those
we'll make
people,
that separation. But now
their practices,
it's a
a lot
wake up
of Christians
call.
will tell you that, yeah.
It's a wake up call to Christianity because in one man there are things that is happening in that religion that is a bit kind of very weird. Because if something is happening like that in that kind
Joshua,
of scenario,
Pa Johnson Suleiman, manna
yeah,
dollar from heaven. Eh?
this is what I'm saying. And they say we have Khan in Nigeria.
Mm.
Khan, you see, when last did you see Khan coming out and start asking questions or challenging all these churches? You know what I mean?
You
If
know some of these churches are not actually members of CAN. They just operate independently, separate from, you
yeah,
know.
if they operate independently as a Christianity and you
Mm,
don't want your name or your religion to be tarnished, you need
mm,
to step in and like it's unfair for you to be doing this, to be doing that. That doesn't shows the Christianity in you. You
mm.
understand? At least they should have voiced out a verbal talk. You understand? To make sure that things like this we come at, you're trying to, tarnish the name of Christianity, but we are here to say, please don't do that. You understand? But up to date, nothing is coming out from that area. What is happening? It's just unfair, and it's like everything now is becoming like a business market. Honestly, it's a
Oh,
business market.
all right. Thank you, engineer. Ovie super chats to the space, and this is what Ovie is saying. It says, article slash Okowa is a possibility in a PDP ticket. Amechi is not to be looked down on when it comes to the APC ticket. So thank you for the super chat, Ovie. But what Ovie is saying now, because just a few days ago, Alexander put Wiki in the mix as well, just because of Wiki's activities in just in recent times. So a lot of names now in the permutation. Ovie throws this little joker in the mix. Amechi is not to be looked down on when it comes to the APC ticket. So Amechi as what the vice or the lead of the ticket is the question. But thank you for the super chat of here. Let's go on to the north. Engineer Sultan of Sokoto kicks against IPOB Yoruba Nation separatist agenda. So Sultan now speaking. He says he's speaking to Nigeria, but as ever, this guy speaks in forked tongues. So he speaks in coded ways, and he speaks just the same words but to different demographies. So he wants to be able to drive in the north, but then of course in the south, we just want to be able to live. So he speaks, but who is he speaking to? The Sultan of Sokoto, engineer.
Okay. You see, when it comes to that, one man, if Sultan is saying he needs road in places for him that will make it convenient for him to pass, right? And he's the same man, he's the same man, he's the same man that is saying he loves Nigeria, he wants Nigeria to be one. First and foremost, with all the killing in that country, with all the killing of the Christian in that country, with all the killing of people in the south, with all the killing of people in the middle belt and some other part of some other part of Nigeria, Has this man ever for one day come out and, send like his condolence to all these people? Hmm? So it's something sometimes we should look. Somebody like that, if he wants something for his own selfishness, that's up to him.
He, of course, a former army man. You'll recall that this guy was an army man before they made him the Sultan.
Here we go. As a former military guy, you have seen what is happening in the country. We do know that the president can't hear or listen. You know what is happening with the president. But what is happening, you as a Sultan of Sokoto, the overall, when all these things are happening in the country, when last did he decide, okay, let me go to visit South, let me go visit Southwest?
Well, we saw the visit from, what is his name, Sheikh Gumi, when he snuck into Igboho town to take pictures to say that he has his foot over the neck of the Yorubas. That clip that he put out is generating a lot of anger, I have to tell you, because if you are following the news, every other person is just vexed that this was a very stupid thing that this idiot man
what do you
did.
think they would do? What do you think they would do to him? Nothing, innit?
What can they do? He has run back to Kaduna now, but they were
this is what I'm saying. What would they do to him? Nothing. But now, if there's somebody like Igbo or Nnamdi Kanu that went to Kaduna
Sokoto to go and do
or
that,
Sokoto and go and do things
they
like
will
this,
go to the palace in Buckingham, Buckingham to arrest him if he's there. To say that
exactly. So let people start seeing things and make a decision straight away, because you have to pile up everything to make sure you check every angle before you nail these people down. You understand? If Gumi can go to Yoruba land and go and only God knows, like what this guy said the other day, is it Mike? You understand? How are we not sure? Maybe it's in the notes that they put the signboard there and
no, he's trying to provoke, and I think he did. I think he did succeed in provoking, because a lot of people are very angered by what he did. But let me take you finally to politics. 2023 ATIKU SOUVENIRS surfaces at PDP NEC. So ATIKU not giving up on that space. He seems to be more than anyone else campaigning. So he has already started his campaign. The other person that we're expecting to match him in terms of campaigning is Tinubu, but of course, his body is failing him at the moment. So he's still with his doctors, but Atiku steals a match now as he just starts to move aggressively into that space. So Atiku Souvenir at the National Executive Committee of the PDP.
Well, I always say something. We know we can't keep pointing finger on Atiku, and we can't say Atiku is 100% good. But with the level of the scenario going in that country now, I would have preferred, to my own suggestion, I would have preferred Atiku to come in, while Wike to be his vice. At least that will balance things down for a bit, because the country will be all the issue of terrorism and the rest will come down, and a little bit kind of corruption they will definitely dealt with it in that aspect, because when you come to that, I will prefer, to be honest, Atiku president and Wike vice.
I wouldn't mind that ticket either. That is a very strong ticket, because it's almost like a Atiku Obasanjo ticket, Atiku Wike. So there's no weak link in that setup.
Exactly.
There's two very strong characters, they will clash, but then all for the better. Yes, we want the president and the vice clashing.
Because Wike will fight for people. He will fight for people in the South. That's for sure. You understand? He would definitely fight for the Igbos. He will fight for.
And Atiku will not fight him back, because
No,
Atiku
no, 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 no.
he loves the Igbos. He's an
Yeah,
Igbo man essentially. Atiku is a Nigerian, That's just who he is. Forget he's from the north.
exactly.
He's a
So
Nigerian. He
when it
doesn't.
comes to things like this, Atiku, look, these people, they are the one who they're there for me, and I won't do anything to betray them, and I would love to prove this outgoing government that the atrocity they committed, they will pay for it. You understand? And I
Just
believe.
from the fake results they announced in 2019, the people that
Imagine.
voted for Atiku, they were the Igbos and the
Yeah,
Deltans and the
of
South South.
course,
That
of
is those
course,
those were the
of course.
spaces he
That thing
won.
they
Yeah.
rig it. They rig it completely.
Hmm.
Because when that election, I must be honest to you, when they were asking Buhari, when I knew that Atiku lost it, they asked Buhari, will you accept defeat? You know what he said? He already won, so why are they asking him, will he accept defeat? So for somebody to utter that kind of statement, one man, sometimes people need to read meaning to what he's saying. You understand? It's already done deal. So it's just camouflage. And this is what is happening in politics. They already finish everything on the ground. It's just the surface. They will come and be making noise. That's it. And this is what is happening. But at the end of the day, if APC too, they said they want to come out, well, they may end up using our brother Amechi.
No, that's what Ovie is suggesting.
Yeah, Amechi as a vice in APC, and it's all politics. It's all politics. But hopefully, let's see what's going to happen. But to me, honestly, I would prefer Atiku and Wike, so that the like people like Malami and Co, the money they stole in that country, let them vomit it out. Honestly, because they are the most heartless people we have in that country as of now, and we don't know about others.
All right. Thank you, engineer. Stay with us. Let's
No
go to
problem.
X0 Maestro next. Who joins us? X0, are you there?
I'm here. How are you doing, Oma?
I'm good. Good to hear from you. The talking points are daggers drawn in the Church of the Lord as the battle for the multi-billion-dollar TB Joshua empire starts to get messier and messier. What are you making of this? People being evicted from church?
Yes. Let me take this from 2 or 3 fronts. First front, when TB Joshua was alive, some of these Nigerian celebrities patronized that church. We know all of them. And they came out saying this church is a credible church, is this, is that, there are miracles going on here. Number one of them that I remember so well, so vividly, is this Jimike, this guy called Jimike. He went to that church. They casted away demons from him. So if these guys have patronized that church and came out and told us that that church is a credible church, then let us believe the church is a credible church. If not only the church are we going to discredit, we're going to discredit every other person that patronized that church, that made us believe that that church is a credible church. None of them should be spared. None of them should be spared because they made us believe that that church is a credible church. Look at what is happening. It's very clear now that these churches are just political organizations, just put together to deceive people, to soften the heads of people, make them believe there is some God somewhere that is listening to their prayers, and make them part with their.
Why do you think those churches are thriving so much within the Nigerian space?
That's what
because
I'm saying.
out of that,
the same reasons politicians are thriving so much in Nigeria. Look at us here discussing Atiku, Wike, forgetting that these people also have their own criminal pasts and their own court cases. They have court cases in Nigeria. They have criminal pasts. So if we cannot replace Buhari and who's his vice self that's not existing with credible people, and we are discussing ATIKU and Wike, then we are still in that place they put us. They have softened us into that position of thinking that they have the magic wand. You understand? So we are still under their curse, whether you like it or not, because we are making ourselves believe that these are the only options we have. And you and I know that these are not the only options we have. We all know that the system is not working. We need an overhaul, not to rely on these guys and say these are the only options. These are not the options we had. They're not the options we have. But if we confine ourselves to this unholy group of people and say let them continue to brainwash us, then it's our fault. Just as I'm blaming those celebrities for the TB Joshua church, that's how I also blame us Nigerians. We are the ones putting power in the hands of these people. Nobody. I see TB Joshua's church as one political organization, the same way I see all churches. Even the Catholic Church is a giant political organization administered from Rome.
You know the Catholic Church is the biggest landowner in the world,
Yes,
just in terms of they own more land than even the United States government in the world. The Catholic Church.
Yes. They are the biggest political organization because I cannot see any reason why.
And they are one of the top 10 richest organizations in the world. Just
by far, they are the richest.
Yes.
I am Catholic. But then, as I grew up, I began to question a lot of things. That doesn't stop me from worshiping God through the Catholic Church. But I understand that there is no way that my own God, will be white, and I should be administered from a European country. That doesn't make sense to me. So back to the TB Joshua issue. What is happening now just shows us that, you see, we're all human beings. Business battles will come in, and we all have our own enemies within that business organization. And when the leader dies, we are humans. We are bound to face our enemies and chase them away. That's what's just happening. That's what's happening in the TB Joshua.
I think this categorically now tells us this, because this is the madam now chasing people out of the church. This categorically tells us that it is nothing personal, it is just business, and they park God to one side first as they battle for that dollar space. This is what is going on in a church, people being evicted from a church. It's just a contradiction of purpose. It's a contradiction of. They say gather. Is the church not meant to be the guy? They even send people into bus stops to be with a megaphone to be trying to gather people to come to the church, not evict people from the church for whatever reason, because the church is for the people that are not 100%. So if they are sinful, then they are exactly in the right place. So you then teach them the errors of their ways. So you don't evict people. So this is a power move, a money move. So money first.
Exactly. Exactly. And in this church, you find a lot of people, engineers, doctors, professors, and they will come back, and whoever wins this power play will continue the brainwashing. Those people will kick out. The power of the devil, took over them. We had to banish them, and church continues as usual.
Just the same set play. I don't know why it's so predictable. I don't know why we still fall for it. You will go to the pastor and it will tell you that it is ancestral something. Somebody has put a curse on you. It is your mother's love rival. Somebody has nailed something to a tree. Their story never changes. It's the same thing. You have a headache. It's something. Don't take Panadol. It is witchcraft. It's just
one man.
Keep on falling for this thing. Yeah?
One man. With what is happening in the TB Joshua's church, in the synagogue church of all nations, let us ask these people who patronize that church, who they casted, these celebrities. I'm still angry at these people, especially the one they called Jimike, that went there. They were casting devil, and the devil was talking
that
through.
Guy, eh?
I'm really after that guy. Honestly, that guy is that guy. I just saw a video of that guy with Sanwo-Olu again, and I'm wondering what is this guy up to again here? Is this not
Man
very
must
clear that
stop
this
now.
guy is
The man must stop now. Let the guy eat now. Man must stop now.
You need to watch that video. You need to watch that video where they were casting demons from this guy, and the demon was speaking out.
Did Kanu not even go to that church? Unwako Kanu, our number one striker.
I will forgive our footballers because what they wanted was healings for their injuries, which was not, once you are in that kind of position,
they all came out of that place to disgrace him, to say that look, this guy just messed us up and tried to
just use their image to launder his church image. That's just what he did. Use them to publicize the church. But apart from that, nothing happened. They didn't get any healing because once you begin to have these knee injuries, your career is about going off. You cannot recover from that. The same thing when you have a heart surgery, you just go to the hospital and get yourself normal scientific treatment. You cannot be going to Pastor TB Joshua. Why didn't he? I'm sorry to say that the man is dead now.
I agree. Why didn't he put his hand
Why
on
didn't he save himself? Yes. Why didn't he save himself? And after all this hula baloo,
but yes,
they so rest in peace. But I know that the guy. The only thing I liked about the guy is that at least he was giving out to people.
The other thing I liked about him is that he was not flashy with all these. Not Suleiman. I've just bought my 10th private jet.
He's not competing.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. He brought this Ogazi Onazi, this footballer. He brought him out to success. He brought some other footballers to success. He helped a lot of people. But some people don't know better. I wouldn't completely blame the guy, the TB Joshua guy. Maybe his idea of a church is bring a lot of people together, collect money, and maybe do two good things here and there. Well, it's left between him and God. But for us who are wise enough, so the wisest people don't even go to church anymore because they've seen all these things and the wisest people are beginning to question why aren't you surprised my own God and your own God is painted? Jesus is a white man. That's enough for a wise person to ask questions. How can my ancestors have been bowing to a white man? There's no possibility.
Just this example, X0, that time that you're going to church to pray for the money that you don't have, yes, go to church on regular church days, but all those night vigils, whatever, all day in church, go to some building site, ask for a day's work, just do whatever it is you can, get paid for that day. So that money that you don't have is then in your pocket.
Yes.
When you go to church, and Suleiman will tell you to put up your phone. You get a lot from God. You don't get a lot now. God will win. This is
exactly. Exactly. I'm a Catholic. I'm not going to stop being a Catholic. But then nobody's going to tell me force money out of my pockets. And nobody's going to tell me some doctrines that I don't agree with.
And by the way, I'm not totally against offerings in church because, of course, the church is a charity. The electricity has to be paid for. Somebody has to keep it clean. So there are bills to be paid in the church. We understand that, but not 10% of people's salary and just this heavy-duty taxation.
And one man, we must ask ourselves a question. Is a church not a perfect example of crowdfunding? How can these people not understand they can use this money for better causes? When a church builds a university, they charge multiple fees. A university that was built with crowdfunding. Why? What is all the money? What is all the profit going to?
And the same crowd, they're not allowed to bring their kids to the school.
Yeah, they can't afford it. That is what really annoys me. A church member should get a discounted fee for that. School, whatever.
Yes. What is it? What is the business? What are they doing? I don't understand. What? And this guy you just mentioned, Pastor Suleiman, talking about private jet and all that, and people are still crowding there. Do people not deserve what they get? They really deserve, because no matter how low your mentality is, that somebody like this will be leading you. and you expect the politicians who are main devils not to destroy the country. I
All
mean,
right, thank you. Let me take you to
before,
to the north. Sorry, engineer. I want to
yeah,
quickly just steam through now because I want to
Okay,
make this as short a session as I can.
no
But
problem.
let me take you to the north, X0. But we'll
yeah.
go via Ovie, who also seems to have discovered the super chat button. Ovie super chat again, and it speaks to where I'm taking you to X0. So this is what Ovie is saying. It says, Sultan is one of the most influential figures in sub-Saharan African region. So take him seriously anytime he speaks. So Ovie, of course, a notorious and a virulent admirer of the Fulanese. So especially he takes him seriously when he speaks. I, of course, Takia. But thank you, Ovie, for the super chat. So to that space that Ovie has taken us to, X0, how do we survive if Nigeria breaks up? The Sultan
First and foremost,
is kicking against IPOB and Yoruba separatists. So just a brief
yeah,
comment on that.
yeah. First and foremost, Ovie takes these politicians very serious. He
No,
takes
he's a,
the APC
he
very
loves his
serious.
Fulani man.
He takes Buhari very serious. He takes everything. The only truth about what's going on in Nigeria is that once you are a leader, you have so much power. And that's the truth. Once you are a leader, you have so much power. And that is the power that Buhari is using. As for taking Sultan seriously, it is left for him and his people who will take him serious. Do you know that whatever these people say, we all can decipher what is wrong and where they are heading to? Who was taking the Mieti Allah serious before this government? Who was taking the Sultan serious before this government? It is the power that be that makes who is who in the country. So the current power that be has everything he has been pointing down to. They want to make Nigeria a sultanate, or what's it called, where everybody bows to the Sultan. And that is why you are seeing this kind of people speaking now. The likes of Gumi now, we will take them serious. The likes of Mieti Allah will take them serious. It is just Buhari that is doing all this thing. You cannot force things that don't have any scientific backing upon a people. We are the South. And whatever Sultan or Gumi or what's this, the Mieti Allah say, we can decipher that it's just bloody rubbish.
Okay.
Just bloody rubbish.
Let me take
We
you
are
to
the South.
let me take you to the PDP and just a brief comment on ATIKU campaign souvenir that is surfacing at the PDP headquarters. So he is moving. He seems to be the only one really campaigning at the moment. So he has stolen a match then on the space. ATIKU for president. What says you?
The only thing that the PDP can be guaranteed is the states they have. If they manipulate their states well, they will retain it. As per ATIKU winning over Buhari, if Buhari wants to continue his current dispensation, he didn't win it. So if he wants to rig the next president in, he will still do it. Because we the people have not risen against the system. If the system continues, Buhari and APC still carry the day. Because don't forget that the people who are the current APC were part of PDP. So they all know each other. They all know each other. It's just that APC is a step lower than the PDP in terms of corruption. They have no scruple at all. No scruple at all. That's just what's happening. They are stealing completely now. They're not even building half roads like the PDP. They're building no roads and commissioning them and making it public. They are just sharing money and taking everything and giving people nothing. That's just what is happening now. A step lower than the PDP. And they are going to rig themselves in if they want the power. That's just it. The only thing that can destroy it now is if they fight within themselves, or if the people rise against this current system and insist on a change of constitution and a change of the system. That's just it.
All right, thank you, X0. Let's go to Ego next and sample his opinion. So, Ego, to you, TB Joshua, that space gets messy. The madam seems to be the one that wants to take charge now and is taking charge, and she's broken no nonsense as she just continues to call the people that that she feels are against her. So, Ego, your thoughts?
Well, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Ego.
Afternoon, brother.
Well, the church these days, We don't really believe much in the people. We believe in the church. Not that we don't believe in churches, but we don't believe in those that call themselves GOs and others, because we simply believe that they are not really leading us well. We believe that they are not leading us well. The action of the woman, well, I don't want to jump into conclusion, but I simply believe that, like you said, the house of God is supposed to be the house of God, and people have the right to dwell, whether they are
Imagine that
against you or not.
people being evicted from the house
Yeah,
of God.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they are against you or not, I think there are other ways you can handle it than just this way that you knows very well that might tarnish, or people might disagree with you and in that kind of character. But these days, who cares? Nobody cares, and everybody is after the money. So that is for that. I don't really have much to say about that. I just keep watching to see the development.
Okay, it's good to get messier almost for certain. But let me take you to the north. Eagle, the Sultan of Tokoto, the usual double talk that we expect now from the Fulanese. He speaks, but then he speaks one language to 10 different people. Shut up about the agitation he's saying. I want to be able to drive freely all over the north. So what is he talking about now, this lead Fulani man? What are you making of what he's saying?
How do you mean shut up about the road I want to be able to drive through all over the north? How do you mean? What did he say?
No, he says, how do we survive in if Nigeria breaks up? Sultan of Sokoto kicks against IPOB Yoruba Nation as separatist. So this is what he's saying. He says, we have to live together as one people to face these challenges of insecurity. No one can do it alone as the commander-in-chief or the chief of defense staff. We must rise up to take issue of insecurity as our personal problem. We must all contribute to this challenge of insecurity. And if we do that in a couple of years, we will be able to drive with our eyes closed from Kaduna to Abuja with no potholes, from Kaduna to Sokoto with clear roads, and from Maiduguri to Kano. That is our prayer in the next few weeks, months, and years as we will get to that level. So he wants to be able to drive freely in the north without this menace of insurgency. So
I
this is
don't
the language that he is speaking about. What are you making
should
of it?
that should that happen. Should that happen, I don't think the Sultan has ever said anything wrong in this statement that he made with regard to what you just said now. If he said that we should keep quiet about it, yes, we are ready to be one Nigeria on the ground that people must understand their rights and justice will be served in every corners of the country. Nobody disagrees with the Sultan that Nigeria should not be a drivable arena, whether from the north or from the south, whether from the creeks or wherever. We all want Nigeria to be movable. We agree with him, but things must be done uh, the rightful way. Some people would not be. I try to understand me, so I don't think he has said anything wrong. But the truth is, uh, uh, I will go about how we understand what he says. Well, if he say we should quiet with regard to succession of Oduduwa and this and that, yes, we can keep quiet. That is true, but we must get the true justice and the true decision with regard to the country, not some killing some and some claiming to be owners. No. So I don't think he said anything wrong.
All right, thank you. Igor agrees with the Sultan. So, do you agree with ATIKU though? 2023 ATIKU campaign souvenir surfaces at PDP NEC. There's a lot of a disquiet within the PDP that ATIKU again is muscling its way into that party, especially as he ran away just as soon as the last election finished and he went back to his babes in Dubai. So they're saying you abandoned just as soon as the battle was lost the last time. But here you are back again wanting to lead charge for the next battle. So not fit for purpose, one, but two, he seems to be the one that is really pushing towards that presidency at the moment. Article souvenir surfaces. What are you making of it? Article for president.
All right, like I always say, and I've said it before, right, in this platform, that the southern states cannot come together as a people and tell southerners that they need a southern president, and they will not come at the end of the day and provide them with a northern candidate. Whoever does that among both parties, whether APC or PDP in the South, I am confident that that person will lose an election. This is my position in the first place.
What if both parties come up with a northern candidate?
Good. You just asked it very now. If they come up, if both of them come up with a northern candidate, then you must know that this your southerners that are your leaders, they are the biggest morons in the world stage. They cannot just come as region or whatever and tell the Nigerian people that power must come to them and speak in one voice, and at the end of the day, present the Nigerian people or the southern people with a northern candidate. I don't see how logical is that, but I'm watching. I'm trying to look how they are going to do it.
What do you suspect will happen? What do you suspect will happen? Who do you think we will see on the tickets come 2023?
Actually, for some time now, I've not been following the politics because I've been so busy. I hooked up with my business, so I cannot really talk much. But I know that Wiki has been doing very well. For me, not that I'm not speaking for anyone. I would prefer a candidate like Akeredolu and Wiki from the South. See, this is time for
on the same ticket.
Oh, okay, they are different parties. Okay, sorry.
No, but would you have them together though, Akeredolu and Wike?
Are they not speaking for one? Are they not from the South?
Yeah,
so
but
if we have those,
but that would be 2,000 people on one ticket. We've never had that before.
Have they not got into Northern before? Okay, they should push somebody like Wike or Akeredolu for president. We don't need any of these people. Then anybody coming from the North should be the vice. Akeredolu, Wike for president. Anybody coming from Wike should not bring himself so low to go and be a vice president to ATIKU. See, Wike is a man that is being looked as a very strong southerner. He should not go and be a vice president to ATIKU today. Wike has been making policy, has been defending the entire South. He's showing leadership, and these are the people who want today in Nigeria.
I agree with you. Wike doesn't look or sound like a second man to anybody. He's not a second man. Somebody like Oshibando, he is a second man, but Wike is not a second man.
Lie. He's not the second man to anybody. So if they want to really rotate the president to the South, to me, I don't know. This issue of let me not go to the Southeast. Let me not go much into.
Can I chip in something?
Hello?
Come in, engineer.
Come on.
Sorry, engineer wants to chip in. Now you go.
Come on.
Yeah, engineer, go on.
Yeah, you see, when it comes to let me start from Maiduguri State. Zulu clearly clarified something that was about last 1 or 2 weeks. He said to himself he prefer let the Southern take the presidential lead. You understand? Because he said it clearly that look, with all this thing happening, Northerners has been there now. Fulani man is there, and the level of the atrocity is high. So why not now? They should give the Southerners opportunity. So, but if you look at it now, we're thinking of okay, who is the top man now in the South, which is Wike. You understand? But if you look, Wike is doing the right thing. Look, and this is part of the issue that is developing in
We
that
will
southern.
also, sorry to interject you, Wike will also do the right thing when he sits in Aso Rock. Make no mistake. Let me tell you, see somebody like Wike right now, ATIKU should go to the south and raise the hand of Wike for president. ATIKU should never come to the stage of this Nigeria today that Wike should come and be his vice. Me, I completely disagree with that kind of move. I reject it to the highest level. If Wike want to have a position in the leadership to the federal level, he should go for the president. He's worth being the president of the country. Nobody is more better than him or have the right more than himself.
People see Wike more as a president than a vice. I see Wike more as a president than a vice president.
How can you tell that kind of man to go and be serving ATIKU as vice for what? On what ground? It's not possible.
You're right, my brother. You're completely right. Something we need to look at it now. Who are the people that will back Wike? That's just the question. You understand? Because this is how it's going to work. If Wike should come out as a president, if Atiku can't come out as vice again, innit? I don't think so.
No.
He can't come out as vice, but maybe if he should be a PDP.
It's going to be Tambuwal. The ticket for PDP is going to be Wike and either Wike Tambuwal or Tambuwal Wike. So that's the mix.
Wama, let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
What happened to the likes of Peter Obi? Why
are
we
Peter
stuck?
Obi, man? Peter Obi is just.
But why are we stuck with? Why are we stuck with this same old? You see, let me tell you the power play.
But Wike is not same old.
But you know the power play in Nigeria is, as it is now, the North is the majority. That means they don't need the South to retain presidency. So this whole thing is
lie from the people.
Just power grab. We all know it's a lie, but currently the population that they foisted on us says that the North is more in population than the South, the whole of the South put together. So if they use that, they will always rig themselves into power. So that is why they are you. That's why we are. I mean, that's why we are here discussing Akeredolu and co.
For 18 years.
You know what they.
Sorry, they were not able to rig Buhari for 12 years. So I don't think there is anything like population.
Yes, I think you are actually right, Igo. But X0, you see
cannot do anything with that. We should monitor the system, and that's all.
Yeah, you see that Akeredolu space, X0. Akeredolu is too Yoruba to be Nigerian president because his politics, it has a very strong ethnic accent to it, the way he plays his politics. So
like Buhari.
Yes, like Buhari.
Buhari is too Hausa. Buhari is too Fulani, so Akeredolu is too Yoruba. Just that it's not a fanatics or what do you call it?
But somebody like Wike is not too anything, so you can still see Wike. But Akeredolu is
we should ask ourselves.
That guy is a true
but we should ask ourselves this question: How was Buhari able to surmount all the hurdles and become the president if he's too Hausa? It was the support of the Yoruba.
It was Tinubu now. It was
Tinubu that built him up, my brother. When Tinubu built him up,
how they were dressing him up.
When Tinubu built him up with the atrocity when PDP are failing people, you understand, before the country will be disaster. So that's why they decide, okay, let's see APC, what are they going to do? And they look at, okay, Buhari is former military guy, he's into military, maybe things will be polished down. But we never knew that it's going to be even worse than expected, you understand? So those are the kind of things that people need to be very, very careful. We, the Nigerians, need to be very, very careful again when it comes to 2023. And you talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is a very, very good guy. You understand? He's very, very good guy. But the question is, has he ever visited like some part of Nigerians? Those are the questions we need to be asking. Has he ever visited those areas? Has he ever interacted with some other governors or visit them? You understand?
That's the thing. In the way that Akeredolu is too Yoruba, Peter Obi is a little bit too Igbo.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the things. Look, we can look at where we can visited and spend money. You understand? Tomorrow, this guy can go there freely. Look at what he did in Benin. Without Wike in that Benin, Obaseki can never be a governor.
Not only Benin, many places. Let me tell you, Nigeria, my brothers and sisters, or global viewers, Wike, as you say, ATIKU, let me tell you, a northerner that is trying to run for presidency this time, well, we are, everybody say right. ATIKU should come forward and raise the hand of Wike and support him for president. This is what we want to see as a Nigerian unit in the PDP. In the PDP, because the last time, even Wike was there and he raised the hand of Tambuwa, even if he didn't support ATIKU publicly. Then this time, they should support him. I want them to rally behind him. This is my position. It should not be only you rallying behind them. What are we talking about?
All right. I didn't see ATIKU raising the hand of anybody. If they don't give him the ticket, he'll just go back to Dubai. It's not,
they will not give him the ticket. Let him go back.
You go and continue studying now.
Yes,
so I think
exactly. PhD.
You study something more than PhD now. So that's what is happening.
All right, thank you. We'll start to round off here, and then we'll start. We go X0, just a literal 1 minute, because we just want to make it very short this session. So a literal 1 minute for you, X0. A literal 1 minute for you, Ego, and then of course, engineer to finish things up for us. So just quick words from you, X0.
Yeah, I just want to. My last words today is just to tell us that we ourselves, we the discussants, we have tacitly approved that status quo is what remains for us, and that is not doing our cause a favor. We must remove our minds from status quo. The way things are right now in Nigeria is not the way it's supposed to be. You cannot win an election without being corrupt, without being in the leading party. And that is wrong. As it is now, if the APC wants to continue in power for the next 16 years, they have the machinery in place. What do we do? Why are we still picking and choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea? Why are we not looking outside this box? That's the last thing I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you, X0. Pointed words from X0. So, Ego, to you next. Your words.
Why I respond to Zero, I will also end my own version by telling Zero that yes, we can look behind, we can look outside the box, but it's very difficult for you to come and bring an outsider to join these people. You should look for one of the doggeds among them, to push forward. That's my position. Then, what I would like to say in rounding on this show is that this, what do you call it, law that Wike has just signed, the entire Southern governor, whether you are resources or not, they should be smartly to sign it alongside Wike into law, so that everybody will be collecting his tax in the state, so that people will learn to build their state and exploit their resources. They should be very smart in joining the alliance of those that are signing the VAT law and grazing this thing. See, we must move forward in Nigeria. Nigerians are tired. The whole world understand. Nigerians also understand. We must think in a better direction. The way this country is failing, it's not a good thing for the African nations. We must show some level of leadership. That's my position.
All right, thank you, Ego. Good to see you again, Ego. Ego joins us back after taking care of business. So Ego back, ladies and gentlemen. So now, engineer, just round things off for us. Engineer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Woman. Thank you once again, and thank you, viewers, for watching this program. And first thing that we need to understand here in terms of the church, the TB Joshua Church, I must be honest to you, may so rest in peace, but something people need to understand, the church that they gave out the circular, and they invite people to come, they give circular out, they preach in the street of Nigeria for people to come in. Regardless, people, maybe they steal or they bring, misunderstanding or things happen. I'm quite very, very disappointed to see that it's the same church that is preaching to the world for people to come in. It's the same church that is evicting people. I don't see that thing in Christianity. I must be honest to you, unless it's modern Christianity that this kind of thing is happening. And also, when you come to think about the Sultan of Sokoto, he is one of the most powerful person in Nigeria who controls that territory and that area and that zone. You know, every Northerners, they listen to him and obey him if he says something. But my question is, what is happening between the Yoruba land, the Igbo land, the Middle Belt land? You know, they should have come out and nominate one person too to be like kind of Sultan of Southwest, and Middle Belt. They should have, you know, things like this. They should have sit down too and form a one party for him to come at in terms of like the three traditional leader for in case of if anything happened, let him to voice out. So those are the kind of things that hopefully that we should sit down and start thinking and discussing way forward to see how it's going to happen. And the other aspect again, when it comes to Nigerian presidency, I must be honest to you, in order for people to achieve what they want, if Wike will come out, please and please let the southern elite, they should start helping themselves and follow Wike dictator and make sure everything goes well for everybody in that country. The northern governors, most of them, some of them are saying they should hand power to the southerners. So now the southerners should get ready and communicate to themselves and make sure things goes well for themselves, and hopefully that country will be good again and people will love themselves. And thank you guys for listening, and God bless everybody. And also for one man, we still pray that God will continue to keep you in this platform so we'll see what will happen 2023.
Thank you. We are all looking forward to that 2023. It's going to be interesting. That much we are sure of. Engineer, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, engineer, for rounding things up for us. Not much more to add on to what engineer has just said. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace.